The Starfield hype train has finally arrived at the station and you've spent countless hours ransacking planets and pirating to your heart's content. But now it's time for you to lay your guns down and live a humble life. And how would you do that, you ask? Well, obviously by depleting a planet of its resources, leaving it like a shriveled raisin. And if this sounds a bit like you, welcome to the beginner's guide of outpost building in Starfield, where I'm going to be showing you how to get started in the quickest way possible. So let's jump straight into it. Now the first thing we're going to need to do is place your outpost beacon. This is created by opening up your environmental scanner and clicking the outpost button down below. This is going to be creating the area where you're able to build, but also where you're going to be able to rename your outpost. Congratulations, you're one step closer to destroying a planet. Now for you to create any building, you're going to need to start with the outpost airlock, which is going to require 2 lead, 3 sealant, and 3 aluminium. Yeah, I get it, I say it weird for some of you. If I see one comment. Anyway. Now, a thing to take note here is that as we go through the different structures, you're going to be noticing reoccurring materials. Yes, lead and aluminium are going to be very essential for creating a lot of the structures. But don't worry, if you're concerned about material gathering, I've got a couple of tips for you that I'm going to touch on very soon. Now another little thing you may have noticed while scrolling through the structures are these little numbers down below. This is going to be referring to the different variants that this structure has, allowing you to create a different style and in some cases a larger version. Something you may run into while placing your airlock is the fact that you can't actually attach other parts to it. This is because the airlock is too low to the ground and causing intersection with the objects. Now a quick fix to this is when you initially put your airlock down, you're able to adjust its height before you confirm its location. And just like that, you're able to now add additional structures. Honestly, look at you go, you're pretty much a master builder already. A little tip for you as well is when you enter your building, you're also able to change the walls. This is done by going into your environmental scanner, clicking your outpost button, and changing the mode that you're in from build to modify. And as you see here, we're able to replace the walls with windows. And if you're like me who's constantly over encumbered, storage crates can be found in the decorations tab while building, costing 4 structural and 2 aluminium to create. So for a basic structure like this, you're looking at 6 lead, 6 sealant, 11 aluminium, and 4 structural materials. Another little tip for you as well is if you're finding yourself shorter on resources, these can be purchased. You can head to Jemison to the commercial district where you're going to find a shop called the Distribution Center, which is found up the right path. Other alternatives are Shepherd's General Store in Aquila City, or in Neon City where you can go to Trade Authority or Mining League. But in most cases, just find a general store and they will sort you out. Now that we know the basic resources that we need, it's time to up your outpost game. As we do a scan over the planet, we're going to be seeing all the common resources that are available by the color, giving you the perfect idea of where you want to place your outpost. And by simply just clicking on a spot, it's going to be allowing you to land directly there. When we head back into our environmental scanner, you're going to be noticing 2 different colors when you're scanning the ground. You have your normal planet environment, and then you also have your resources that are ready for extraction. And as you see here, it's highlighted red showing iron, meaning that we're going to be able to create a mining extraction point over this color. As we head back into the building mode, you're going to notice that we have a bunch of extractors that are ready to be built, and for this purpose here, we're going to be using the iron extractor. This is going to cost you 2 tungsten, 4 aluminium, 5 iron, but another thing that you're going to notice is it's got an operation cost of 5 power, and down below it's also going to be showing you that it produces iron. This little section here is very important, as this square block here is showing you that this is a solid material. This will all make sense very soon. With the new extractor in place, you're going to notice down in the stats bar a nice number 5 which is red in needed power, which is showing how much power is needed for this to run. The basic powering options that we have to start with are solar array, which are best for sunny planets and they produce 4 power. We have the wind turbine, which produces 3 power and generates more power in planets with thicker atmospheres. And then we have the field generator. This is going to be producing a whopping 20 power, but it also has an operating cost of helium-3, which means without that resource, you're going to get 0 power. So for the planet that we're on, we're going to be using the solar array to power up our extractor. This is going to be coming at the cost of 6 copper, 4 beryllium, and 8 aluminium, since we're going to be needing 2. And as we place the last needed array, you can see that the red 5 has now become yellow, which indicates that we have enough power to run this extractor. Another little thing I'd like to point out in the stats bar is the fact that we can see the total number of power and also the production of what we're going to be creating. So in this case, since we have 2 solar arrays, we have a total power of 8, and as you can see, we're going to be creating 1.66 iron per minute from this extractor. Another little note to take away is when you hover over the structure, you're going to be seeing integrity. This is going to be reflecting the health of the structure, because yes, you can get attacked at any random moment. Now, do you remember how I was talking about the cube that reflects solid? This is because each type of resources have their own storage containers, with solid being the cube, liquid being the raindrop, and gas being the cloud. And as we're all geniuses here, we're going to be using the solid storage container for our iron extractor. Now with this in place, what we're going to do is head back into modify mode and we're going to start creating an output link. As I head over to the mining extractor, I'm going to be clicking down onto the create output link. And what I'm going to be doing with this red link is connecting it to the storage. What this is going to do is create automatic storage from our extractor to our storage container, with a little gauge on the side reflecting the percentage of capacity that this storage container has. As you see here, we're sitting at 2% maximum capacity with 3 iron in store. And just like that, you've created your first little automated system within your outpost. With the resource cost of 17 aluminium, 4 beryllium, 6 copper, 11 iron, 2 tungsten, and 3 adaptive frames. Now it's time to take it a step further. Let's create ourselves a cargo link. And what is that going to do, you ask? Well, this is simply going to allow us to connect 2 planets' resources together and have them ship between one another. And in this case here, since we've built another iron extractor, we're going to be using this as our outgoing resource, with your green container being your incoming goods and your red container being your outgoing. And it is as simple as connecting an output link between your extractor and your outgoing resource container. Just keep in mind you are going to need to have at least 2 cargo links for this to work. And here is one that I prepared earlier. As we go into the console, we can now confirm the link between the 2 outposts, and they're going to be sending each other the resources. And as soon as you confirm that link, boom, we have liftoff. Now again, the cargo link also has its limitations, with only a total of 3 being able to be built per system. So my suggestion for you for when you're doing your cargo links will be iron, aluminium, and also lead. And at the same time, if you're wondering, how do you keep track of your outposts? Well, when you go into your star systems map, you're going to be seeing this symbol here. This is going to be reflecting you have an outpost on this planet. And of course, each system also has a limited amount of outposts that you can build, which starts off at 8. This number can be seen again in your environmental scanner down here. But have no fear, because each of these limitations are also connected to a skill that is going to increase them. For example, you have planetary habitation. At rank 1, it's going to increase the maximum number of outposts you can build by 4, and when you hit to rank 4, it's going to increase that number by 16. But not only that, it's also going to allow you to build outposts on planets with extreme temperatures, because this is something you're also going to have to look out for. Other complementary skills that we have for outposts include outpost management. This can be found in your social tree. This is going to allow you to add additional cargo links between your outposts. And as we head over to the science tree, we have zoology, which is going to allow you to produce animal resources, and then also botany. This is going to allow you to cultivate plants and create resources as well. So if you're looking at primarily making the massive empire of outposts, these skills are perfect for you. With that being said, there's also a couple of extra things that will boost your outpost. When you're in your crafting tab, you're going to be seeing the industrial workbench. Why this is important for you is because it's going to allow you to create those structural resources such as adaptive frames. And providing that you created cargo links with aluminium and iron to this outpost, you're going to be creating these with ease. And if you want to utilize some of your crew skills such as outpost management, you're going to need to put down a crew station. This is going to allow you to assign your crew to your outposts. And with the total amount of crew that are being assigned to your outposts, you're also going to have to provide that number of beds as well. Now, believe it or not, but there's one more thing that we can really do to push this outpost. And that one thing can be found within the research lab. As you head down to the outpost development section, you're going to be seeing something called manufacturing 1. With the components needing to complete it being 2 zero wire, 3 adaptive frame, 3 iron, and also 3 sealant. And when once completed, it's going to allow you to build the small warehouse storage and also the simple fabricator, which is where your manufacturing empire starts beginning. The way this is going to work is we're going to create an output link from our storage to our fabricator, which means we're going to have an infinite supply of iron running through it. We also need to create a warehouse small storage. This is going to be acting as the storage container for your fabricated parts that are made. And again, we're going to create an output link from the fabricator to the storage. Now, to deal with the incoming resource of aluminium from our cargo link, we're also going to be creating another storage. This is going to be linked to the incoming cargo link and also the fabricator. And with all this successfully connected, congratulations, you have done it. You have created yourself a multi-planet manufacturing system that's going to be automatically creating adaptive frames. But do keep in mind, adaptive frames aren't the only thing that you're going to be able to create. And so there you have it, you're now a qualified basic outpost builder who knows how to do automatic systems. So take this knowledge of what you learned today and create some crazy monstrosities. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Also, drop down in the comments and let me know what exactly you're going to try and do. I always love to see the creativity that people have. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. And until the next one, buckle in boys, because we're going to space.